Hi, welcome back. My name is Brian Forsyth again, and this is the Undepressionable mini course. And it is my intent that at the end of these 6 CDs, 6 videos, you will be equipped to live undepressionable. I don't just teach this stuff. These are the techniques that I have used and continue to use to live my life, be successful, and to remain undepressionable. And that's really the thing, because if you're dealing with depression, it requires us to live in a way that depression can't suck us back in. And so that's why this is why I put this course together, is to help you live undepressionable. And with that, let's talk about the Feel Good Foundation. Feel Good Foundation, right? Because if we're going to build a life that's undepressionable, we need to build it on a strong foundation. And so the first thing I want to talk about is sleep, and that you absolutely must be getting enough sleep. Now, I know a lot of people will tell you that you need 8 hours of sleep or you need 9 hours of sleep. I'm just going to tell you that you need enough sleep that you are able to move through the day and you're not sleepy. You're able to keep focused and motivated, and you don't like randomly fall asleep when you're driving a car or after you've sat down for 10 minutes. Just, you need to be rested. And the truth is that sleep can be an issue for some people. So here are some things that I suggest. First, have a plan for your day, and have a plan for the end of your day, especially if you work from home, especially if you're building the business, you're building the side hustle, whatever it is. Because if you don't have a specific end of the day and a specific end of the day process, then your mind isn't prepared to let go of all the things that it's been keeping track of and working on all day with you. So have a specific time that you start, and try to start that at that time every day, and then at the end try to have a designated time where you stop. 5:30, 7:30, whatever it is. Ideally, you want to make sure that it's not 1 o'clock in the morning and you have to get back up at 4. However that works out for you, just make sure that you have some level of winding down, so that gives your mind a chance to switch out of work mode and into relax mode. So that's the first thing. The second thing is sort of related to that, is when you have a plan to your day, then that means that you have the opportunity to plan for tomorrow. Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll lay down and your mind will be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And so the way that you keep that from happening is you say, okay, this day is done, and tomorrow is going to look like this. And so you are consciously making a plan for tomorrow You're working out what's going to happen tomorrow. And so your brain is less likely to keep pestering you about things that, you're still worried about or still need to do or whatever. So plan your day and also plan tomorrow to some extent. If you are going to be, doing something that's stressful the next day, you're going to have a meeting. You're going to have a meeting with somebody that you sometimes don't see eye to eye with. You've got a big project. Think about how you're going to deal with that, how you're going to respond to those situations before you get in those situations. Imagine yourself moving through situations like that, how you want to respond. Calmly, logically, without getting stressed. Visualize that. In this program, we're going to talk a lot about the power of the mind and different techniques and things like that. So get used to this, because this is part of the undepressionable method. It's learning to use our mind in a specific way. So start there. Start thinking about what tomorrow looks like and start kind of pre-planning so that you're not stressed out when you come to that event the next day. The next thing I tell you is, don't drink a lot of caffeine through the day. Try not to have screen time, 2 hours before you go to bed. And then sort of the magic pill is buy a sleep mask. A sleep mask will seriously help you with not sleeping. You just think about it, put your sleep mask on, tell yourself when that sleep mask comes down, it's sleepy time. Next, we're going to talk about exercise. And we're only going to touch on this a little bit because this isn't really about me telling you you need to exercise. Hopefully you probably already know that. This is about when you first wake up in the morning to do a little bit of exercise. So, because it's all about these wins. It's all about having wins through the day. It's about stacking wins, right? And you want to start as early as possible. So I do planks. I do low planks as many minutes as I can. I'm up to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But whether you do push-ups, whether you do, planks, whether you do jumping jacks, just do something first thing in the morning before you eat breakfast, before you have your coffee. Do some physical exercise, which will put you on the path for the win. Because you said you're going to do it. You woke up, maybe you didn't feel like it, but you did it, right? This is the number one thing that is consistent when you look at people who are successful, who, like the Zuckerbergs, the Mark Cubans. They do this stuff. So start your day with just a little bit of exercise, not to where you're sweating your brains out, just enough to get your body moving, just enough to get that first win. The last thing I'm going to talk about is eating. I recommend that you eat at least 6 times a day. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then little meals in between. And the reason why I say that is because your body is essentially a furnace. And if you think about it, the furnace is kicking along, it's hot, and then it starts to dip. And ideally what you want is way before it gets to where the fire is almost out, you give it some food and it comes back up a little bit. Not a lot of food, just a little bit. Like an apple and some cheese or something like that. And so the fires are back up, right? And then you have lunch or you have dinner. Think about the other direction. You didn't eat breakfast and you ate lunch and then you didn't eat anything until dinner. So what you have is, at that point, you have, I didn't eat breakfast, so the fires are like way down here. And then you eat lunch, and it gets burnt up, and there's nothing to tide you over until dinner, at which point you go crazy eating dinner. And, the excess, of course, gets stored as fat. Probably eat late dinner, so now you have your body trying to process food while you're sleeping. Not good for sleep, because whether you go to sleep at the right time or not, you can still have bad sleep. And bad sleep actually will hinder you for the next 2 days. So sleep's kind of important if you're trying to be successful, if you're trying to, really feel good about yourself. So definitely plan for eating. I know it's not possible to eat, perfectly, whatever you can do that is you planning for eating in a really conscious, dedicated way. That's what we want. Also talking about eating, you may be tempted to do one of these, fairly challenging diets. I'm talking about the Atkins diet. I'm talking about keto. I'm talking about paleo. Just be careful, because especially with keto, you are literally changing how your body has processed food up until that point. And it can have negative effects on your body, because you are changing how it has always done things. So think about that. Also, you definitely want to do your research about what foods you need to eat and what the percentages are. And especially with keto, you want to pay attention to the minerals that you're getting, specifically salt, because salt is really important in the regulating of your various bodily processes, right? Salt and potassium. And either one of those things varies too much, and you're going to start feeling it. So, yes, if you're somebody who needs to lose weight, who wants to lose weight, definitely people have lost weight successfully using keto, because you're really limiting the amount of food you intake in a day. But just be careful, because you're fiddling with your body's chemistry. So I was on keto for 7 months, and I had to get off of it because I started feeling like I was going to die every time I got up. I started having like these dizzy spells and stuff. It was crazy. So I don't really recommend keto. That's really the only extreme diet that I've tried. But whichever one you pick, whichever diet you pick, make eating a conscious decision. Make it conscious. How much food are you eating? When are you eating it? How does it make you feel, right? How does it make you feel? That's the really important thing. Part of this program that we're doing here, this 6 video mini course, it's all about paying more attention to how you feel, to what makes you feel a certain way, what makes you not feel a certain way. So look at these 3 things: sleep, exercise for the win, and eating in a conscious way, and live undepressionable. That's the whole point. All right. I'll see y'all next time.